What's up, dudes? You're watching No Time to Dine, and today we're making chilaquiles from our favorite Mexican creator, Joshua Wiseman. No, that's not, I don't really like that. You're watching No Time to Dine, the show where I take ultra fast recipes on YouTube and I recreate them to see how long they actually take to make. In this episode, we are making chilaquiles from a recipe by Joshua Wiseman. I know, the white man making a Latin recipe. It is kind of strange, but what can I say? This channel is literally a shrine built to him, so it makes sense that I'm doing his recipe. Anyway, this should take about 35 minutes, and the first thing we have to do is get some oil in the pan while we chop an onion, get some garlic cloves sliced up, and we're halfway there. Anyway, I'm gonna get this ramekin for some oil, weigh out 30 grams exactly because Josh wills it. And we only have, like I said, 35 minutes to get this done. This is part of a video wherein he showcases 30-minute recipes, and he's like, this one's gonna take 5 extra minutes. We'll see if this one actually makes it in 35. So on to the onion. You only need half of this. So I'm just gonna waste about 1/10 of it. This always happens. I'm always like frantic and scared that I'm gonna cut myself. So I'm trying to move as quick as possible. And there you have it, a diced onion in no time at all. Peeling garlic is literalmente, the bane of my existence. I saw a thing online recently that says if you just slice them in half, the skin comes off easy. I guess we'll put that to the test today. All right, let me slice this shit in half. And then he was like, oh, the skin just falls off once you slice them in half. I mean, it kind of worked. Like, it was kind of true, whatever. I'll give him that. It was a decent tip. Not the best tip I've ever had, but a decent tip no less. All right, I'm gonna get these onions, garlics, and oil onto the stove real quick. Just gently slide it in there, hopefully not cause a catastrophe, some kind of mess. The oil is ripping hot, as you can probably tell, given by how it's shimmering instantly. All right, that just burned the fuck out of my hand. Just tossing this onion and garlic. I'm gonna let that go for about 3 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to multitask and get this blender set up. And to the blender, we will add our tomatoes, our crushed tomatoes, our chilies and adobo, and a little bit of this crack ketamine chicken bouillon. All right, I need a can opener. For some reason, this can's dented. I wonder why that would happen. It's almost like somebody dropped it. And so it's not opening easily right now. Gonna get 240 grams of crushed tomatoes in here. 5 chipotle chilies and adobo. This is time efficient, don't at me, all right? 2, that one was thick. And 5 chipotle chilies and adobo in the blender. Next, we get 15 grams of our ketamine seasoning. Would I get demonetized? This is chicken bouillon. No drugs in here. But it's got MSG, so it's, you know, kind of cracked out. Need a spoon, toss my onions while I get this spoon. Damn, that smells crazy. You ever seen the videos of people sniffing like smelling salts? That's what that sniff was just like. Now I need to go dead to 400 pounds. All right, 15 grams of the Nor. I don't know if it's actually pronounced Nor or if the K is like not silent, but whatever. In here, now we're just gonna get our cooked onions and garlic in the blender, blend this all up until it's homogeneous, and we should be about done. With multiple more steps left. The blender is clean, it's not perfect, I'm a home cook, whatever, I'm just trying my best. Okay, so now we're gonna get the onions and garlics in here because I think they're shimmering. A bit too much. Got some really beautiful browning on this. I wish you could see it. Here, let me put it in front of the B cam so you could see it. Oil, garlic, onion mixture into the blender with everything else. It's been about a minute. It's pretty smooth at this point, so I feel comfortable taking it out and putting it back in the pan. It got this beautiful orange color. I like it. All right, well, my mixture looks unusually thick, which is typically is not a problem, but in this context, I think it's a bit much, too much for me to handle. So I'm gonna water it down ever so slightly. Maybe add a little bit of salt to compensate for that as well. But yeah, I wanna thin this out a bit. And it has to reduce for 5 whole minutes. It's only gonna get thicker. Which again, normally is not a problem, but in this context, it's just too much thickness. I can't handle it. All right, I've added even more water to the sauce because it was looking more like a curry than a sauce, whatever. It's now time to cut our garnishes. We're about halfway through the time limit. I think I'm gonna make it in time. Just gotta be prompt with this. This avocado is not nice. It's like way too underripe. But they're not in season and I live on the East Coast, so there's no way I'm getting good avocados right now. Oh, I'm gonna slice myself. This avocado is like so stiff, bro. I'm trying not to cut my fingy wingies. I'm a home cook, I'm not that good, what can I say? Avocado's sliced, it doesn't look the best, but it's serviceable, it'll do. Now I'm gonna slice this onion before my sauce erupts. I'm just gonna go for thin strips. Okay, so the last thing to do is to fry an egg and get the chips in the sauce since it's been reducing now for about 5 minutes. Get that looking nice. Can I toss this? Oh, kind of. I'm doing crazy shit you never seen before, bro. Cooking YouTube, never seen this shit before. Haphazardly placed. Get my fried egg on top. A dollop of that Mexican cream. Took me about a couple years to make all this, but drizzle that on here nicely. And for once in this series, for the first time, we actually made the dish in time. Joshua Wiseman apparently is capable of telling the truth. He just chooses not to most of the time. I'm gonna try this dish, chilaquiles. I've had this before with green salsa, so I don't know what to expect with the red version. I don't know if it can compare. Let's find out. Bro, immediately, fire. Fire, my God. It's spicy, it's complex, it's rich. The onions, even though they're raw, not very aggressive because we soaked them in ice water. Avocado, slightly sweet, creamy. The cheese brings a nice tanginess. The sour cream really elevates the acidity, helps balance the richness in this dish. The ketamine-filled chicken bouillon, probably hitting right now. The MSG, that's what it is. That's like the first hit was like tasting a Dorito. It's that MSG. The fried egg with the runny yolk, perfect. The white man's chilaquiles, who would have guessed? But I digress. The food was delicious. I made it in time, just barely, but I made it in time and it looks great and it tastes great and that's it. All right. With that said, I would like to thank my patrons because they give me money and I really appreciate that. Thank you to Max again. Thank you to everybody on the fridge. If you too would like to get on the fridge or just support the show in general, the link to the Patreon is in the pinned comment below. I am gonna go finish this off camera. Next video, we're making fish and chips. Maybe. Or we're making like a burrito bowl. I don't know. We'll do something. I'm doing something, all right? You'll see.